that we met, your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget.
Good morning, everybody. Back to my friends in America. We're just sitting here letting you know we're thinking about you. I actually talked to two of my sons today. Very glad to hear from both of them. Talked to them for a few minutes, make sure they were doing okay. I'm not going to really get into the subject of what's going on there because I have very strong opinions on it. And it's something that's more private for me and her and me and my sons to discuss. I'm just praying for everybody to be safe and for people to get home safely from all this. We're keeping up with it on our news here. Unfortunately, I'm watching too much news and it kind of puts you in a depressive state. Keep watching it, but we just want to get off the subject a little bit tonight and just talk about ourselves a little bit. Where we live, how long we've been here, and stuff like that. So we're going to keep this one kind of brief. Gigi had a long day at work today. She was able to go back to work.
But still, we don't have any transportation or public transportation. My boss need to pick me up here to bring me at work.
And that's probably what we'll start with. Let everybody know we're under what they call general quarantine. And there was supposed to be some conditions of general quarantine to make things a lot easier, but for me, it's a lot worse. Because under general quarantine, they're telling people over 60 years old, we're not supposed to go out, they have a liquor ban and all this other stuff. So I didn't really see no upside on the general quarantine other than you have more traffic on the road. G was always able to go to work. She has a special medical pass permit that allows her to go through all the barangays and all the checkpoints. She can go through any of them with hers. I can't leave the street technically, but my friends in America know I'm going to find me a way to leave the street. So I've learned if you just walk real aggressive, they're not real eager to step in front of you. So when I walk to the store or walk to the market, I look like I'm stomping bugs as I'm walking, and I don't slow down for nobody. And
the only day that you can go out is our schedule for grocery. That is Wednesday and Thursday.
No, Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh, Wednesday and Saturday, basically.
Yeah,
but you sneak today.
Yeah, I sneak today. That's one thing we're going to talk about. It is so much nicer living in Manila. I mean, we had so many conveniences. To me, living in Manila was no different than living in America. It was the same to me. The quality of life issues, really the only negative was the diesel fuel and how much it affected her. The quality of life issues were there. I mean, you have everything you want. I mean, all the food places. There was right down the road, there was an Outback Steakhouse and all these things. You had the money. Now, of course, anything in Manila costs a lot more. But we've discussed earlier, the reason we're here was twofold. Because I still go back and forth to America, and sometimes for 6 months or longer when I'm back in America until I get on my Social Security. So the main thing was security for her to have family close by, and her brother is actually a security guard. Even though I think Gigi could probably take him, he's got two sons living there, and so she has good security. And then we discussed earlier about her church being right around the corner. So the town we live in, and I never pronounce any of this stuff correct, so she's always correcting me 24/7. But it's called Tanauan.
Tanauan City.
And we're in the Batangas province.
Yeah.
Reason we really, she picked it. I didn't really know nothing about the area. All I knew was Manila. I haven't been to Cebu yet. I watch videos all the time about Cebu City, and actually she's real nervous because I'm getting a lot of interest in this area called Dumaguete in the southern part of that area there. It really interests me because I always wanted to live on the water. And people that know me know when I got separated, the first thing I did was find me a condo on the beach.
But actually here in Batangas, we have several nice beaches, but the problem is you need to pay fortune.
You can't, they don't want regular people to go to the beaches and stuff here. So they price everything so high, that a Filipino can't go. Unless they're wealthy, unless they have a good job or, government or official or something like that. So, even though, there's beaches not too far from here, but you're going to spend the king's ransom if you got a family. And most time when we travel, we bring our 3 children with us. When they charging you 1,200 pesos a person, to go into the beach just to walk on the beach, it can get quite expensive. It ends up being $60 or $70. And what's really frustrating for someone like me is they want to stay there about 35 minutes and then they're ready to go because they don't want to be exposed to the sun or anything else. And
that's a Filipino thing, that they're very curious about the color. Usually don't want to get dark. That's why
it's a reversal. I'm trying to get darker. I like her skin tone. I think it's beautiful. I've always told her skin tone is great. She wants to look like me, Casper the Ghost, and so it's constantly a switching of the colors here. But really, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I still have a year for my Social Security kicks in, but where we live in Tanauan, we have the bare minimum. There's nothing extra here. We get excited at the end of our street when they open an Alpha Mart, because it's a lot closer for us to walk. Because right now where we go, we walk. And so we got real excited just when we have an Alpha Mart and a new service station opened up at the end of our street, because even the service station has like a little mini mart in there that has her favorite candy or chocolate. But really, that's all we have. You go where you hear us talk about Walter Mart, and we put a video up about that the other day on our anniversary video, showing how small Walter Mart is, just a few stores up and down. And then we have a new mall called Victory Mall, but that's too far to walk.
It's in a downtown Tanauan.
Right, it would be 3 miles each way to walk there. So we don't go there, and I'm not supposed to go there at all because they do have corridors blocked off where they check your pass to see if you approve.
Quarantine pass.
So we haven't been there in ages. The main thing about it, it's new, it's brand new, and it has a few more stores, but it's nothing like the malls in Manila. It's nothing with all the conveniences we have in Manila. I mean, just anything you want to do, ice skating, bowling, just going anywhere, it's all there. Here,
you need to travel from here to Lipa City, we call city, where the SM is located, the big mall. And then your
bigger mall, bigger shopping center is still nothing compared to the malls in Manila. When she's saying bigger mall, it just means, you got to remember, they think selection is having one floor with nothing but food court stores, and then they have one floor that has like 2 or 3, like all of them are connected. Like the one store is all connected to this S&M shopping center. They have a clothing area, a shopping area for furniture, a jewelry area, perfume area, but it's all S&M. And then they have a few other stores, and then you go around the corner and there's 55 cell phone companies and computer lab fixing things with computers and all that stuff. So it really doesn't have a great selection. It's just a few stores. It just looks like a mall because it has escalators taking you around, and the variety of food is nice and all that stuff.
And also there's the one store that you like, the SNR.
Yeah, that's different. In America, their SNR, I guess they're connected because even one of the bottle of dressings I had on there said Sam's Club. It looks exactly like Sam's Club. It's white and blue, same color. And actually, the best pizza you can get here is S&R. I mean, so
but from here it's less than an hour.
Right. Well, that gets into our car. When we have a car, it's 15 minutes. It's nothing. We have a toll road right up the street here. We get on the toll road, we're 10, 15 minutes from S&R. But speaking of cars, that was another mistake. One of the problems that you have here when you buy a car, and if you're wealthy, you come in from America and you got plenty of money and you can go buy your new car, but that's fine. There's no issue. You take it back to the dealership. But me, I made 2 mistakes. I bought a used car that was probably a little bit too old, but I heard a lot of good things about Mitsubishi, so I wasn't too concerned because the engines are pretty simple. But secondly, somebody had a friend from her church that was supposed to be a good mechanic, and all he was good was taking money out of my wallet. He wasn't really good for anything else. So we ended up having to have the car repaired twice, to do the same thing, to overhead the head gaskets and all that kind of stuff. And needless to say, at that time I wasn't working, so we were just hemorrhaging cash. We were just paying out, and the car would run for one day, and then every time I'd take her to work, it was like, playing Russian roulette. We just never knew how far we was going to get before we got stranded on the side of the road. And just reached a point where it was just foolishness. And it wasn't cheap. I mean, I was spending $400 or $500, not pesos, but dollars, U.S. dollars, trying to get this thing fixed. And these were all backyard mechanics here. You don't have anybody that's really certified. It's going to be The biggest problem I have with anybody that does any of the work here on my vehicle, they don't take any pride in what they do. They just want to get it done as fast as possible, take your money, and then pray that you make it out of the parking lot. You know, and most of the time that's about as far as you're going to make it out of the parking lot. So we've had a lot of bad issues with the car. Matter of fact, it's got a flat now sitting out there, and I just was so aggravated with it. Even when
the only thing you decided to buy your car is that it's really hard for you to ride on a tricycle.
Right.
Unlike in Manila, when we were living in Manila, there is a lot of taxi where you can, ride.
There's no taxis here.
There's no taxi in this area, so either you need to ride on a jeepney or on a tricycle.
And jitneys are not real big fans of foreigners. They don't really want to stop for you. And if they see you with a Filipino that they can communicate with, they'll stop. Few of them have gotten to know me, and they know I tip. So if you tip, they'll tend to slow down and get you. But the others actually will speed up. They don't want nothing to do with it. Even some of the buses are really bad because I've had locals holler at the bus driver because he's acting so stupid when you say we're going to Tambo, and he just looks at you like he's deer in headlight. And I've had one old lady beside me. She screamed at the guy. She goes, "Tambo, stupid! He done told you 3 times." But all the things you hear about the people being the friendliest in the Philippines, they are, but there's some that just really test your nerves. We just went day before yesterday to Mercury, and I have to take my medicine for my thyroid, and I know they have it. It comes in all different, 25 milligram, 50, 100, 150. So I go in there and levothyroxine, real simple to say. It took me years to practicing before I could ever say it correctly. Mm-hmm. But they'll look you right down and go, "No, we don't have it." And I go, "Yes, you do. You got it in 100. And then I look at the boss, and the boss looks at her, and I go, "Levothyroxine, you got 150. Oh, it's right here, and it's right beside them." That's just so infuriating. But you just get used to it here. It's just, same way she walks up and asks the tricycle driver how much, tells him 100 pesos, as I walk up, he immediately goes 200. It's just the way life is here. But really, Tanauan is not any place I would want to live for long term, other than the fact that my goal is to try and get her a small house for the long term. So I don't know what we're going to do about that, because I know she has a church here that she's a member of. So we still trying to figure that out. But there's no rush. Like I said, I still have a year before I can get on Social Security. I mean, the house we're in is comfortable for us. When we have the kids here, it's a little tight.
We just plan to visit Dumaguete.
Yeah, and the other one, Bohol.
Bohol, yeah.
Anything that's on the water. I just want to live near the water. I get so jealous when I see the pictures of Dumaguete, because I know you can just walk down, and there's no charge. There's nobody sitting there going, "You got to pay us 600 pesos to step on the beach." They have public seatings. It's like being in Navarre or Destin or any place else. You can just walk down there, and they got benches all up and down. It's very clean from what I can see. I haven't been to Dumaguete yet, but I've watched tons and tons of videos. There's 3 or 4 bloggers, and I'm always watching their videos talking about life there, and they have the different areas. If you want to live out of the city, up in Valencia, and then some of the other areas closer to the town. I really don't care. I just want access to the water. And then all the tourist spots, the islands and stuff, are very close there. And believe it or not, the nicer tourist spots, they're the cheapest ones to go to. So that's really my main agenda. At this stage of my life, I don't want to be sitting in a old town where nobody does nothing and just...
And one thing, you want to stay there because, there's a lot of foreigners where you can communicate with.
Yeah.
Somebody to talk to.
Well, that's one of the things that I've always wanted. I wanted her to be able to still have her life, because she's a midwife and she likes having her own money and all this stuff. So I wanted her to be able to still work at the clinic. It's her choice, whatever she wanted to. But then, I wanted an area, and I always ran into foreigners when I was in Manila. It was always. So it was always somebody I could sit down and have a cup of coffee with while she was at work all day long. And that's why Dumaguete looks so appealing. Now, they're saying that Dumaguete is getting overcrowded. I don't really know. We'll just have to figure that issue out. But we're probably going to try and sell the car first, and that way we'll just get us like a little motor pad or something. Tuk-tuk or something like that. Tuk-tuk's a little small motorcycle-driven car. It's pretty cute, actually. Only negative, it doesn't have air conditioning, but it's actually very cute. So we're looking at something like that if we can get ours sold. But I gotta get it fixed up. Even try to sell it right now. Sitting out there with a flat tire. But mainly just want to let you know a little bit about our town and why we're here. And like I said, because of me coming and going. But once I'm here permanently, then we're going to pick a spot that's more conducive to both of us. Have her church there that she can be a part of her church, and then have the beach close by where I can go to the beaches and do stuff. And even Dumaguete and Cebu and all those areas, they have airports, so even her kids can come visit and stuff like that once I'm on Social Security, so it won't be that big. Or we can go back into Manila. We have plenty of places we know to stay.
But I know you want to stay closer to the beach.
Right, always. I've always, anybody will tell you that's ever met me for 1 second, they'll say, all Warren wanted his whole life was to live on the beach. That's all, the only place, his happy place. So that's what I want to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
So, to my American friends, we're praying for you. Please be careful out there. There's a lot of people that are not out there protesting anything. They're just out there being hurtful and doing damage to private property. So please be very careful and just know we're thinking about you, and God bless you.
And about the pandemic also, stay safe and stay healthy.
Yeah, well that's also got me worried, all those people protesting are right beside each other. I don't know.
There's no social distancing.
Yeah, there's no social distancing going, so just hopefully, like I said, everybody's taking care of their own and making sure everybody's safe. Y'all have a nice evening. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Is it good morning in America? It's good evening in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's 8:37 here p.m. So I know my sister's in Charlotte, so it's 8:37 in the morning for her, and it's 7:30 for my son in Shreveport.
Philippines.
So, good morning, good morning.
And then thank you for watching this video.
And
please do watch, like,
and
share,
and
subscribe,
and
click the bell.
Press the bell.
And if you want to put comments on it, you're free to
Please put comments, because we want to hear from everybody to say, hey, look, we really liked it, or boy, y'all need to work on it because it sucked. Whatever you think, we want to hear, and we'll try to respond back to you, unless it's real negative, then I might just leave it alone. But just let us know what you think, and we're going to keep doing these. Somebody's getting good at editing, so I don't have to worry about that part of it.
Still learning.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good
See you in the
night.
next video.